Hey people of Kickstarter, thanks for checking out the game, and if you've already backed, thanks for backing. The support I'm getting so far has been absolutely amazing from everyone, from all the comments to the feedback and ideas. It's been really good. I thought I'd upload this video just to tell people a bit more about the game and some of the elements in the game. So yeah, let's get stuck in. So this is everything you get in the box. You got your little cubes for the survivors, 10mm wooden cubes. You get 20 for each team. Get your little flags for claiming your tile. And each team has 10 little walls in their own colour. Then we've got the zombies, they're 8mm cubes, so you can sort of see the difference between the two on the board. And then we've got the food, 8mm cubes as well. Again, see the difference. Yeah, prototype, couldn't get any pink flag. You got 10 dice, so when you're in those big zombie battles, you can roll the dice without having to worry about, you know, oh, 1 roll, 2 roll, 3 roll, bam, roll them all at once. You've got all your loot cards or your room searching cards. You've got 110 of them. Show you some of the artwork here. So it's got the 2 survivors as they're sort of ready to search the room on the back of this one. So this is the general loot salvage card, sort of general bits and bobs for the zombie apocalypse. We got the zombie card on the back. So that's 3 zombies you found in the room. Put your extra 3 on the tile. I'll explain that in a minute. Got 3 survivors, so you found 3 survivors in the room. They're going to join your team, and yeah, there's survivors. And then you got your tiles. You got the 42 tiles. You got your 4 starting tiles, and then 38 others. Yeah, show you a bit of the artwork for the tiles. So it's the pink starting tile. Little zombie on fire, firing off, and little pink camper. So all the starting tiles are pretty much the same, but then it's the change in the camper van. So there's the orange team, and the yellow team, and then the blue team. Awesome. Then we've got the rest of the tiles. So grab a bundle of these. We've got the farm tile here. Got a little tower built. So this is the park farm tile, where you can make food and farm it. You got the numbers in the corners, so that's the number of points to reclaim, number of victory points, number of zombies when you reveal the tile and turn it over, the number of rooms you can search, because it's a park, there's no rooms to search. So yeah, that's the farm tile. Got the tower block tile here. Don't know if you can see on the camera, some little people in the rooms, little help flag, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. The zoo tile with the patented polar bear defense system. So yeah, little zombie clown on his adventures, and yeah, that's the zoo tile. Got the hospital tile here. Got the mall tile. Don't Dead, open inside. Man, a little shopping trolley, Black Friday sale, all the general post-apocalyptic mall stuff going on there. And we've got the school. Got almost little pixely swords going on there, fighting off the zombies. Getting the bus ready to leave. Zombie under a table, one of my personal favourites on the tiles. Yeah. And we've got the back of the tiles. So this is the sort of fog of city side, fog of war thing going on. Don't know what's underneath yet. Turn it over, and then you reveal what's underneath. Oh, let's on this one. Yeah, so turn it under, find them all. So that is. Oh, there's the research tile as well. I'll show you that. Just saw the corner of that poking out. Loads going on this one. Got the man experimenting. Some sort of zombie fighting going on over here. Monkey in a cage. Everything you'd find in a research centre in the apocalypse. Show you how to set up the first game. Show you the rules to get started. I'll move all this to one side. Oh, also forgot to mention this. Loads of these little bags. One for each team. One for the zombies. One for the food. Because there's nothing worse than not having little Ziploc bags to put your things in. So move these to one side, and I'll show you how to play. So. I'll just show you how to set up for one thing, because as shown in the video, you can set up the hexes all over the place. and doing your thing. So you put your tile down. So this is the blues, and I'll put some tiles around. Pretend we don't know what's on the other side. Cool. So when you set up, there'll be other people over here. Bigger board, big game going on. So then you start with your 5 survivors, put them on your starting tile, and then take it in turns, going clockwise. Oldest person starts first, and you place your walls down in between all your borders. So the thing with walls, let's say the yellows are here. Let's assume it's flipped over. If they're trying to bash, if they want to get into my base, they have to spend an action point to try and break down the walls, and then they have to roll a dice. And if they roll a 5 or a 6, 2, so that person spent his action point. This person's now spent his action point. Oh, that went off the table. That person spent his action point. It's going great for them. Way 5. So that last guy would have broken down the wall. So a wall gives you a bit of a warning if someone's coming. Hopefully holds them off a bit. And it can also hold off zombies as well in the advanced rules when you get chased by zombies. So let's get rid of the yellows for now. So everyone takes in turns, place their walls. Bloop, bloop. Let's put another one there. Cool beans. And then, because you've already claimed your starting tile, put your little flag up. It's worth 5 victory points. So, go starts. You got your 5 survivors. Each of them have 1 victory point. We've not got any food, so we can't feed them. So if you've got food from a farm, which I'll explain later as well, you spend your food, and then 2 survivors, so they get 2 action points that turn. So these guys all got 1 action point. So with an action point, you can move from one tile to the next tile. You can move from an outer hex, the outer part of a hex, to the inner part of a hex. I'll explain that in a minute. You can reclaim the building, or you can search a room. Can't really reclaim anything. So if we move this guy here, then we'll reveal the hex. So it's a farm. It's a pretty good one to start on. So he's on the outer hex now. So on all the tiles, you'll see there's like an outer grey area, which is 10mm, so you can fit your survivors on it, and an inner area, which is the building. So if you imagine the outer area is like your car park, so you can see into the zoo, and you can see all the zombies in there, and the inner area is the building that you reinforce. And so on this, so we've revealed the park. So we look at the park, and it says 3 zombies. So we add 3 zombies. There we go. And now I can either move these survivors, could use their action points and move them to new tiles to reveal them. But let's say I want to take the park next turn, so I'm going to spend everyone else's action points and move them onto the outer hex of the park. So that's the end of my go. Next go, next go, next go. How many people are playing? Back to my go again. So at the start of the game, you don't interact a huge amount with other people. You start to build up, and then as you build up in this city, you come in contact more with everyone. So let's say if the yellows started here, we might be on each other's border now, or depending on what sort of map you want to play with. So it gives you that kind of customization on how PvP you want it to be at the beginning of the game, or if you want to have a huge, big spanning map so you never come in contact, then you can do that. So start the game. Everyone's got an action point again. So now I'll spend my action point. So again, I can spend my action point to move to another hex, so I can move here and reveal it, or any adjacent hex. Can search rooms. I can reclaim the building, board up the windows and stuff. So I'll move my zombies, move my survivors in to fight the zombies. So now start a combat with the zombies. So what we do now is the survivors attack, and then the zombies attack, and the survivors attack, the zombies attack, until everyone's dead or until people run away. In this case, I'm attacking the survivors. So I've got 5 survivors. So I get my 5 dice ready. So the way combat works is you've got your survivors, and you roll 1 dice for each survivor that you're fighting with. You don't need to spend an action point to fight. You just need to be in the same building to fight. So the survivors attack, and if a survivor rolls a 4, 5, or a 6, kills the zombie. When the zombies fight back, if they roll a 5 or a 6, then they kill a survivor, and you roll 1 dice for each zombie that's left. So let's say the survivors attack. So move the dice in. So on the dice we got 2, 3, 6, 2 and 4. So that's 4 and a 6. So 2 zombies are killed, so they get taken out. So now there's 1 zombie left. So that 1 zombie rolls a dice to fight the survivors. If he gets a 5 or a 6, kills the survivor. He doesn't, got a 1. So now I'd roll 5 dice again for the survivors, and 2 6s, 2 2s and a 1. So the zombie's dead. All the survivors spent their action point moving into the inner hex this turn. So that's the end of the go. It's pretty quick goes. Moves around. My go again. They've all got 1 action point again. So I could spend 3 of their action points to reclaim the building. There's no rooms to loot, so can't do that now. So let's say I spend these three people's turn reclaiming the building, put my little flag up, and that means I now own a farm. So I own the farm, so at the end of the game, that means I've got 3 victory points from the farm and 5 victory points from the base. It also means that because it's a farm, at the beginning of my next turn, I will get a food. Collect 1 food at the beginning of my next go. Another thing you can do with the farm is you can actively farm the farm, if that makes sense, a bit of a tongue twister. So you can, say I spend this survivor's go to actively farm the farm, so he spent his action point. That means on my next turn, I get 2 food instead of 1 food because he's working the land. So with this survivor, because he's got an action point left, I'll move here and I'll reveal the building. So I'm in the car park, it's the hospital. From the hospital, we can see it takes 3 turns to take it back, 1 victory point at the end of the game. It's got 6 rooms you can leap and 4 zombies revealed. So turn it over and we put our 4 zombies on. And then that'll be the end of my go. So as I said, it's pretty quick goes, keeps the pace going so you're not waiting too long. So then everyone else's go, back to my go. So now, because I was farming and I own the farm, I get 2 food. This means that I can spend 1 food to give 2 survivors an extra action point. So they have 2 action points this turn instead of just 1. I'm going to spend my 2 food, so I put those back in the general pool, to give these 4 survivors an extra action point. So then I can move them all onto the outer hex here for 1 action point. And then because they all have an action point left, I can move all of... Oh, I only put 3 zombies on, my bad. I can move all of them into the inner hex and fight the zombies. So now I'll roll 5 dice for the survivors. So we've got 3, a 1, a 1, a 4 and a 6. So that's 2 zombies dead. And then I roll 2 dice for the zombies that are left. A 2 and a 1. Zombies didn't kill anyone this time. Roll 5 dice for the survivors again. Way. 3 5s, a 6 and a 1. So that's both zombies super dead. Zombie soup everywhere. All the zombies are dead. Everyone spent their action points. That's the end of the go. Next go, next go, next go, next go. Back to me. So, with my survivors, I can either start searching the rooms, because there's 6 rooms available, or I can reclaim the building and get the victory points. So, if I spend 3 goes to reclaim it, put my little flag down, I also get my food at the start of my go from owning the farm. So then, I'll spend this food to give these 2 an extra action point each, so they got 4 action points. To help keep track of how many loot cards in each building, one thing we found for playtesting is if you draw, say, the top 6 loot cards or room cards off the top, then you place them underneath. This helps keep track of how many rooms there are left to search. Let's spend our action points. So this person can spend 1 action point to draw a card, see what's in the room. 3 more survivors, pretty good. Pretty good indeed. So I get 3 more survivors, but they don't have any action points this turn. They're all tired from hiding and running away from zombies. Spend another action point to draw the card. And 3 zombies this time. So, what happens when you draw zombies? The zombies you can draw, I'll explain it now. The zombies you can draw and the survivors you can draw. So zombies, you can draw 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, or 10 zombies. There's only 2 10 zombie cards out of the 110 room search cards, and for survivors you can draw 1, 2 or 3 survivors. There we go, so that's 3 zombies. Now what happens when you draw zombies, when you're searching rooms, you have to start fighting the zombies there and then. So how many have we got? 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 survivors. Got pretty good odds here. 8 survivors on 3 zombies. So that is... Yep. So there. These 4 dice, 4, 4, 5 and a 6. So 3 of the zombies are dead. All the zombies are dead. So now we've got 2 action points left. So we'll spend another action point to draw a card. And that is General Salvage. So General Salvage is this card with all the lovely loot on it. You keep this, so this goes in front of you when you're playing. And you can spend 2 General Salvage for victory point. So every 2 general salvage you have at the end of the game is worth 1 victory point. You can also spend 2 to give survivor armor for 1 battle. Say you're fighting zombies, let's say I've drawn some zombies and I'm here. So you can spend 2 to give him armor or to give him a weapon, to give 1 dice roll a +1. So you say, let's say he's attacking now. So you'd roll the dice for him first, so that means he's got a 2 instead of a 1. Or if he's being attacked by a zombie, let's say the 3 zombies are attacking him, you would roll 1 first, and that's now a 0. So that's well, armor is 4 and weapons are 4. And then you can also spend 2 general salvage to place a wall. So if I had 2 of these, I could spend them and I could place a wall here or anywhere which borders one of the territories that I've taken. And then I've got 1 action point left, so I'll draw 1 more card. See what I get. Oops, sorry. So I got another general salvage, so now I've got 2, so I could trade those in whenever I want or whenever I need them. The only other thing to explain is the player on player combat. Let's create a situation. So I'm here, and I'll put these people here, and we'll assume that it is the yellows attacking. So they move in, and they're now attacking my territory, or attacking me in my territory. 6 attackers, and there's 6 defenders. So when you're attacking, you both roll at the same time. So the attackers would roll, you can roll a maximum of 3 dice if you're attacking, or 2 dice if you're defending. So the attacker would roll his 3 dice, and he's got a 5, 4 and a 3. The defender would roll his 2 dice, and he's got a 5 and a 3. Then what you do is you match up the dice, so attacker, defender. If the dice match, then the defender wins, and if the dice is higher, then whoever has the higher dice wins. So in this case, the defender would beat the attacker with that dice. The attackers lose 1, and then the 4 beats the 3, so the defenders lose 1. And then you repeat, keep doing this, until either all the survivors have died on one side. So in this example, we got the 6 beats the 4, but then the 4 beats the 3, so it's 1 off each. So that's how the player versus player work. Now, with the general salvage, when you can trade them in to give your dice +1 or attack or +1 defense, that really comes into its own in the player versus player fights. So the last thing to point out is, for the final version of the game, the cubes are going to have silkscreen printed on them, sort of 1 line and a cross, so that if you're playing and you can't keep track of which survivors have spent their action points or which survivors got 2 action points, at the start of your turn, you turn over all your survivors, and then we can tell that these 3 survivors have got an action point each, and then say I spend one of my food, then these 2 survivors now have 2 action points. So it just helps keep track of who's got action points and when you spent them. So let's say, oh, I'll move from this tile to this tile, so that's spent 1 action point, and I'll move this person to here, another action point. So say you got 20 survivors, helps keep track of who you've moved, who you haven't moved, and what action points you spent. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Surviving 1 month in. Look forward to people's comments and feedback, and please share on your social media of choice.